You ought to have listened to the video Perfect Tense before listening to this. And if you have not, stop, go and listen to that and come back. If you have already listened to it, excellent. Let's get on with things. Word salad is an occurrence of several disorders and is invariably an unintended consequence of certain mental health conditions. This differs when word salad is considered in the context of narcissism. What is it? It's where we communicate with you in a method which doesn't make sense, fails to progress a discussion, or results in a lack of outcome. As opposed to a stream of consciousness, it is a mechanism that is deployed by our kind to achieve several outcomes which I explain further. The use of word salad is most effective in a face-to-face discussion, but it also appears in telephone conversations with our kind, text messages and emails. How does it manifest? Well, the lesser narcissist engages in this behaviour as a matter of instinctive reaction. He doesn't realise that he's doing it, which is one of the most confusing elements for the non-narcissist graphs, since it appears deliberate. With the lesser narcissist, it is an instinctive response by him in order to maintain the upper hand in the engagement with the victim. It's all about maintaining control. He does not deliberately engage it to achieve the various outcomes I will refer to, but he just does it. The mid-ranger engages in it, and whilst he may recognise some force in the comments of the victim, his need to remain holding the whip hand in the discussion results in him immediately continuing to behave in this manner without being fully aware of what he is doing. The moment he might start to reflect on what the victim has said with regard to his conduct, his reflection will be overruled by his narcissism, instinctively imposing on him the need to deflect and deny, and thus the word salad will continue. If the victim makes reference to the behaviour once again, the reflection may start, but again, as soon as it does, it is pushed aside by the need to deflect. It's akin to points on a railway starting to move, but then a greater force comes along and pushes the points back to the original position. We graders know what we're doing. We know the upper hand must be obtained and maintained, and we revel in being obstructive, frustrating, and evasive. We regard it as a game, and we're entirely aware of what we're doing. And we deploy this manipulative technique much to our entertainment. Word salad can appear in many forms. For instance, there will be circular conversations where the topic just keeps repeating without there ever being a resolution. We will repeatedly project, and we will also bring up the past, whether real or manufactured. It is common as well in this word salad to play the victim. We will make incredible leaps of logic which will make no sense to you, but make perfect sense to us because they are necessary from our perspective in order to achieve our aims and to maintain control. We will twist, contort and engage in all manner of spoken and written gymnastics to ensure that the effects we require or desire are achieved. Why do we do it? There are several reasons why the word salad is deployed by us. Number one, words are easy to use. They are low in terms of energy expenditure. Number two, if we engage in spoken word salad, then words disappear into the ether once they have been spoken, which of course allows us to deny what was just said and suggest that your recall of the conversation is impaired and that there is something wrong with you and not with us. 3. We want to confuse you. If you are confused, then you will struggle to drive through what is happening. You are also less likely to realise what is happening. By being caught in the web of confusion, you will struggle to make sense of the word salad. Number 4. Naturally using word salad provides us with the necessary fuel that we require. You will invariably become irritated, frustrated, angry and upset, all of which provides us with negative fuel. Furthermore, if you give up on the conversation, the relief that manifests when you do so will also provide us with fuel. 5. Word salad is used to control you. By keeping you on your toes, suggesting you are in the wrong, that we are not, we maintain control over you. As you know, control is absolutely fundamental to the narcissistic relationship, and we must always have control over you. Number 6. Lack of accountability. We regard ourselves as blameless and that we have no culpability for our actions. Utilising word salad allows us to maintain this state. 7. Entitlement. We can do as we please. We say what we want, and you're not allowed to stop us. By engaging in displays of word salad, we are exercising our sense of entitlement. Number 8, guilt. We instinctively want you to feel guilty. By making it seem like you are the one at fault, you may well become apologetic, which asserts our superiority and provides us with fuel. This also assists us in asserting control, because if you feel guilty, you are more likely to do what we want. Number 9, deflect challenges. We do not like you to challenge us, and therefore by unleashing a word salad against you, we can deflect your attempt to challenge us. Number 10, create obsession. The whole exchange will make no sense to you, and because you're a truth seeker, you obsess over it because you want to try and make sense of what has happened. You will replay what is said, analyse the content of the messages, and most likely discuss it with third parties. This, of course, heightens your emotional thinking, causes you to disobey the logic of forgetting about what has been said and moving on from it. This then enables the maintenance of control over you because you continue to talk and dwell on us, which is something that we instinctively want. Number 11, plausible deniability. By talking in riddles, in amorphous and vague terms, this allows us to adopt plausible deniability, which can later be used against you or to further our denials at a later stage. Why does it affect people like you in particular? Anybody normal would be perplexed by such behaviour, but it is especially effective against empathic victims who are intimate partner primary sources. There are a few reasons why this is the case, and this accords with why you are selected as our victims anyway. 1. You try to understand somebody else's position. You're empathic. A normal person would just give up and walk away in frustration, but you feel obligated to try to understand what we are talking about, and your decency and your truth seeker traits are hijacked by your emotional thinking. Number 2, you place considerable value in resolving matters, and you want to achieve this with us. Accordingly, your empathic trait of being a healer and a fixer is hijacked by your emotional thinking, so you continue to engage with us. You need to be heard. Again, this goes back to being a truth seeker. You want to have your say, and you feel that you must be listened to. Of course, we don't listen to what you have to say, we only want your fuel. But you fail to recognise this, and your repeated attempts to say your piece, speak your mind, and air your views repeatedly play into our hands. 4. You need to understand. Again, your truth seeker trait is hijacked and corrupted. You need to work out what's going on. In the maelstrom of devaluation, you don't know what you're engaging with. You think you are dealing with someone normal and intelligent who should understand what's happening, and therefore you need to understand why we appear to not understand. 5. You need to get us to understand. In tandem with your desire to heal and fix, you feel this considerable urge to make us understand that what we are doing makes no sense. This accords with the hijacking of your empathic trait of justice. It is right and just that we should see that what we are doing is wrong. Your Honour hiding to nothing. The lesser and mid-range have no insight, and the greater will not allow you to know that he has such insight. Number 6. You feel you have to defend yourself against what is being said, as you hate the word salad, and especially for us to have the wrong impression of who and what you are. This offends your sense of honesty, decency, and justice. This has to be put right. You struggle to turn the other cheek with such matters. You really struggle to accept, well, this is just the way it is, and I just get on with it. Your emotional thinking hijacks those traits to cause you to defend yourself, when really you should just walk away from it. The consequence of all of this is that you are very easily drawn into the effects of a word salad, and you remain gripped by it. So, how do you toss the salad aside then? 1. The most important step is to understand that you'll never, ever, ever win the argument or the discussion. Stop trying to achieve this. It's just not going to happen. And the more you try, the more you play into our hands. Once you've grasped that you can't succeed, you will then be able to cope with the word salad far more effectively. Number 2, if you really have to, state your position just once and then leave it at that. You then have the knowledge that you have set out your position and you've told us. Therefore, you know that you have spoken up and asserted your position, which will make you feel better. You have not backed down. 3. Understand that if you state your position 7 times, you have done so 6 times too many and wasted your energy. Learn to save your energy. You need it for other things when you're caught in the devaluation. 4. Don't feel that you have to defend yourself. The allegations we make are invariably projection, but you fall for it every time. Stop doing this. State that you've nothing to say on the matter rather than become drawn in. Stop feeling like you have to defend yourself. 5. Avoid providing fuel. This does become easier once you apply the first 4 steps I've mentioned. It also is more effective at bringing the word salad to an end when there is a complete reduction in the fuel that you're providing because you're saying nothing, you're not reacting, and indeed you walk away. Number 6. Walk away. Remaining and staying embroiled in the word salad is not going to achieve anything. Remove yourself from it. Don't just go into another room, but leave the vicinity and go somewhere else. Your removal will wound, and it will ignite fury, but if you're not there to be the recipient of this fury, we'll have to go and seek fuel elsewhere, and thus you avoid the ramifications of this ignited fury. Number 7. Eat some steak instead. It's rather tasty.